If there's one thing American politics keeps exposing, it's pure hypocrisy, especially when it comes to the economy. Republicans spent years blaming every gas price and grocery bill on Biden, acting like the country was falling apart. But now that Donald Trump is back in power, suddenly the outrage is a lot quieter. Before we dive in, comment where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In this clip, Navarro goes head-to-head with Jason Rantz over that exact double standard, and let's just say, the exchange gets heated fast.
Tonight, Republicans have a new message for Americans concerned about rising gas prices. Just relax.
Look, this is not going to last forever, and gas prices are going to go back down.
How do you know that?
Well, I know that because this war is not going to last forever.
The gas price situation is tough, but I don't think that's going to be resolved in the next few weeks. I think by, call it Labor Day, it's all in the rearview mirror.
The fact of the matter is everybody relax. Fuel prices will go down. Iran's going to end very, very soon.
You might recall, this is the same party that attacked Joe Biden throughout his presidency, accusing him of inaction over high gas prices.
He's not being honest about inflation. Inflation is picking up. Look at gas prices, up over 70 cents a gallon since he got elected.
The national average price for a gallon of gas reached $4.32 on Sunday. And yes, that is the highest price in U.S. history. What is so hard about just being honest with the American people? President Biden should accept responsibility for the past year of rising prices.
We see people postponing their vacations. So this is having a devastating impact to normal families all across my state. The Biden administration is just tone deaf.
In standard fashion, the Biden administration has tried to blame someone else. Mr. Biden has implausibly blamed Vladimir Putin for the high price of gasoline.
You heard Rick Scott there saying the Biden administration was tone deaf, and he was right. So are Republicans doing the same?
Yeah, I don't think this is something to be glib about. This is certainly sobering, and I think President Trump should have an honest conversation. We are in a wartime like other leaders do, and acknowledge what's going on and continue to make the case to the American people that it's worth it, because there is a serious cost. I also think there are things to be optimistic about. We are deregulating. UAE is coming out of OPEC, which could mean less of a monopoly on that front. And I also am going to say, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Republicans are not in a great spot, but I don't look at Democrats and think that they have it tied up for midterms either.
Can I say, the scars from this, but when you're dealing with an inflationary context, you have to show that you're going to take affirmative steps to address inflation. The president is exacerbating inflation. His tariffs are a price hike. The situation in the Middle East is leading to an energy crisis. And his biggest signature achievement was reducing healthcare benefits, cutting SNAP benefits to do a tax cut. So when he's contending with inflation, it's tough because his policies are worsening it. And then to hear Republicans say, just get over it, just deal with it, it's not where people are in this country. It's not where
Americans also got a serious tax break.
It's true. It is true. And it probably is part of the reason that it cost Democrats the election. It is true that Democrats were slow to acknowledge and recognize the pain that Americans were going through. But what Democrats were not doing, what Joe Biden was not doing at the same time, was repainting the pool for $15 million and walking around with a rendition of a ballroom that's now going to cost $1.5 billion with a B, and unveiling gold-plated statues of himself.
They spent tens of millions of dollars doing it.
So the tone deafness, the Secretary of Transportation wasn't on a 7-month road trip with his 9 children for a TV
Sean Duffy
show.
is not.
So
he was not. You know that he was not on a road trip for 7 months.
No.
You know that is factually
he has been on a road trip during
for a
those
couple
7
of
months.
days at a time.
Okay,
he was not on for 7 months.
Okay.
That's just not fair and not accurate.
He was filming a reality show, road trip,
exactly.
road trip reality
At a couple
show
days
over the
at a
course
time,
of
over the course of 7 months.
While
So you had a previous transportation secretary who took total time off.
Not sure that makes it better.
While gas
It does
is
make
at
it better. Come on.
$5.99 a gallon, while we are having all sorts of FAA issues, while there's
Then you
cruise
don't have to
lines
make,
with
but my
viruses,
point is, you don't
and
have to
that
make
is
something
what-
up to make
I
a
am not
point.
making
I
it
think
up.
you can make
During
very
the
valid
7
points
months,
here.
He has taken days off during the 7 months to go on a road trip for a TV show. Which part of that is inaccurate?
Well, you said he was taking off 7 full
No,
months.
I didn't say he
That's
was
exactly
taking
what
off
you said.
7
I
That is
think
what you
he's
said.
allowed
It
to
is.
see his 9 children every
Right.
month for a couple
Exactly.
days. I don't begrudge him that.
And tell America to go on road trips while the gas is $5.99
I guess at
a
the end of the
gallon.
day, if what we're talking about is the transportation secretary filming a reality show, it's probably not a good sign for this administration.
I'm fine with
one
the secretary
way or
celebrating the 250th anniversary of the country.
We'll leave it there. The Trump Tower that has
And this is exactly where the entire conversation completely falls apart for Republicans, because the hypocrisy becomes impossible to ignore. The frustration you're hearing isn't just about one argument on television, it's about years of watching the rules suddenly change, depending on which party is sitting in the White House. Because let's be honest here, if these exact gas prices, these exact economic pressures, and these exact international tensions were happening under Joe Biden, conservative media would be in absolute meltdown mode right now. There would be non-stop breaking news banners, angry press conferences, and politicians lining up in front of microphones demanding accountability every single day. But now, the energy is completely different. Suddenly, Americans are being told to be patient. Suddenly, sacrifice is necessary. Suddenly, global events are complicated and nuanced. And that's the point that completely exposes the contradiction. What made this exchange so revealing was the way Jason Rantz responded when Navarro started pressing him on the double standard. Instead of directly responding to the actual substance of her argument, he shifted focus towards smaller side comments and distractions rather than addressing the core issue head-on. And viewers notice that, because when somebody avoids the main argument and starts focusing on tone, side remarks, or personal shots, it usually means the central criticism is getting uncomfortable. Navarro's larger point was about consistency. If Republicans spent years insisting that presidents should be blamed for every rise in gas prices, every increase in grocery costs, and every economic hardship Americans face, then those same standards should apply now too. But apparently, the standards only apply when Democrats are in office, and people remember this stuff. They remember conservatives putting "I did that" stickers on gas pumps during the Biden years. They remember endless speeches claiming the president personally controlled fuel prices. They remember every inflation headline being treated like proof of total economic collapse. Now, the messaging has shifted almost overnight. Instead of outrage, there are explanations. Instead of blame, there are excuses. Instead of demanding immediate accountability, suddenly it's about patience, geopolitics, and long-term strategy. That's why this debate became bigger than just Navarro versus Jason Rantz. It tapped into a broader frustration many Americans already have with political media in general. The feeling that outrage is often selective and completely dependent on who benefits politically. And the foreign policy angle only intensified the argument even further. Supporters of tougher action against Iran are now arguing that economic pain is a necessary cost for national security goals. But critics immediately point out the contradiction there too, especially when many of these same political figures rejected diplomatic agreements in the past that were specifically designed to limit Iran's nuclear capabilities. So now voters are left asking a very simple question. Were these standards ever really about principle in the first place? Or were they always about politics? Because that's the real issue underneath this entire exchange. Not gas prices alone. Not inflation alone, not even one television argument alone. It's whether political commentators and elected officials apply the same rules consistently, or whether the definition of economic disaster changes depending entirely on whose name is attached to it.